Hey everyone, welcome to our third video for our Summit Family Workshop series. This video will cover the Summit Yearview. Let's talk about what this snapshot shows you about your students' classes. So to access this view, we go over here and we click Year. And when we click it, it will show all of your students' Summit classes in one view. So this student has 4 classes in Summit, and we can see all of their projects, all of their power focus, all of their additional focus areas, all of their challenge focus areas, and their COG skill score specifically for each and every single class. Additionally, if you click on the class itself, so if I clicked on biology or English or Spanish or video, it would take you into your students' grades for that course. So it's another way to access the same information that you can access through Progress. All right, but let's take a closer look. So let's zoom into biology and English because those are the samples we've been looking at for all of our videos. And let's first talk about what this year view means for biology. So to start, if a unit is blue, that means that your student has not started it yet or has started it but has not received any feedback yet for those units. And so here we see our blue pacing line. This tells us that our student is about to enter into this unit and has just finished their previous unit. So the purpose of this blue line is to let you know where your student is in their ongoing curriculum. Now for red, this is starting to give me a little more information. This red unit means that the student has incomplete work that they need to finish. And since this blue line has far past this red unit, it means that that student has been missing this work for a while. And remember, for these red units, the student has until January 5th to make up this missing quarter 2 work, and then at that point it becomes permanently missing. Therefore, we want to make sure that these red units are resolved by January 5th, otherwise the student will not go back and be able to make up this missing work. So this unit is red because the student is missing work that needs to be completed. Now, this example doesn't show any yellow, but I do want to talk about that. If this unit was yellow, that would mean that the student has either missing work or a very low grade on one of their assignments. So whether it is yellow or red, it indicates that the student needs to go back and either fix an assignment or complete a missing assignment. So essentially, if it is not green, it is worth investigating to figure out what your student needs to do to fix the issue. Now, if the student's unit is green, that means they're all set. They've completed all the work that they need to. They scored well enough where they don't need to go back and do any edits. They are done with that unit. So in summary, this student has 1 completed unit, 2 incomplete units, and many units still to go. Also up here, we see this COG skill average. This is not the student's overall grade in the course. If we remember back to a previous video, the student actually has a 75% overall in their course. This COG skill average is just the student's skill average in projects. So this grade refers to how the student is doing in their projects. Now you might say an 85 is really good. It is really good. It's a B. But that's only the grade from this green unit that's been completed. Since these units are red, that means that the student has not submitted their projects to be graded. So this 85 is actually a very incomplete grade. We don't have a full view of how the student's doing because they should have 3 units graded, but they only have 1. So they got a B on this first unit, but they haven't completed their other units. So this 85 is not telling us the full story. All right, so now for power focuses, now that we've read through what the projects mean, let's look at the power focuses. So the student has completed 3 of their power focuses. Yeah, good job, student. However, they have 1 power focus they need to complete so that they're no longer behind. And this power focus right here is the one they're currently working on. So if we look at the blue pacing line, we can see that the student has successfully completed these 3. They are behind by this one, and they're currently working in this one, and they have many left to do. And so that's how we would read the power focus area row. For the additional focus row, we can see that all of these are blue. That's because the student has not attempted any of them, has not passed any of them. However, the additional focus areas also do not turn red because none of them are required. These first 2 rows are both required. Students have to complete every project in their class. Students have to complete every power focus in their class. And these are worth 70% of their grade and 21% of their grade. The additional focus areas that are worth 9% of their grade are not required. These are ways to get additional points that help bump them to the next grade that they're trying to receive. So for instance, say my student has a 78 in biology, and I want them to get to an 80. A really surefire way to do that is if they completed 2 additional focuses, because essentially each one's worth a point on their final grade, and that would get them to the 80B that I would like for my student, or hopefully my student themselves would be shooting for. And so the reason why these don't go red is because none of them are required. They are essentially ways for students to get that last 9% of their grade by doing these additional focuses. What's the other differences between power and additional focuses? We know they're different because PFAs are required, AFAs are not. We know they're different because PFAs are 21% of their grade, AFAs are 9% of their grade. But also, PFAs are much easier than AFAs. AFAs are considered information that kind of go above and beyond the basic level of information in the class. PFAs are considered kind of standard information for the course. So if your student's struggling with AFAs, please know that it is more difficult than the PFAs. And so it's going to take more studying, possibly more attempts for them to get through these. And last but not least, we do have these challenge focuses right here. There are many, many, many of them. These are not required, so they do not turn red. They also do not affect your student's grades. So if your student does 0 challenge focus areas for the school year, it does not affect their grade. What these CFAs are for honors credit. So for biology, students need to complete a certain number of CFAs. For history, students need to complete a certain number of CFAs. For English, they need to complete a certain number of CFAs if they hope to achieve honors credit in the course. The number of CFAs they need to complete vary by course. Therefore, please make sure to check your student's syllabus to see how many CFAs they need to complete in order to achieve honors credit. All right, so this was just what I reminded you of before. Projects are 70%, power focuses are 21%, additional focuses are 9%, challenge focus areas are 0%. So that is the grade breakdown for this year view. All right, so if you have any questions about the year view, please make sure to go to the Q&A form, send that question in to me, and I'll get those answers to you. Thank you so much for joining us for this 3rd video. Maybe I'll see you in another video. Bye.